Well, if there's anything to be thankful for in our next story, and it's hard to do, it's that the kids involved are probably too young to remember what happened. They're little boys, 1 and 2 years old. And last Friday, they allegedly saw their own mother gun down their father outside of their daycare center in Stark, Florida. And that's just west of St. Augustine. Police say the whole thing was caught on surveillance video. Mindy Osteen arriving separately and 3 minutes after her ex-partner and the children's father, Christopher Jones. Jones coming out with the kids. He strapped them into the back seat of his car. It was like a normal day. Jones climbing into the driver's seat, and then Osteen allegedly opened fire 5 times. The kids were in the car. Police say that Jones got out of his car and somehow ran back toward the building at the daycare, screaming. But Osteen allegedly kept firing. Jones opened the daycare's outer doors, but the inner door was locked. So that means he was trapped. Osteen, according to police, fired 3 more times until her gun jammed. And according to the arrest report, Osteen then put her gun in Jones's vehicle and was heard saying, "Please let the monster die." Allegedly, she then stood over Jones and said, "You gotta die, Chris. You can't kill blank." And then following, the word was redacted. We don't know who she named. And when police arrived, Osteen claimed, and I quote, "I done it in self-defense," but they didn't buy it. Osteen now is locked up tonight on charges ranging from aggravated child abuse to first-degree murder. Her little boys are safe right now. They're in the care of their aunt, their father's sister, Melanie Russo. I spoke with Russo earlier today. Here's our conversation. First, our condolences for what you and your family are going through. This is such a horrific case and something certainly no child should ever endure. So first, let me ask you, how are you and the boys holding up?
Day by day, and that's all that we can do right now.
I wanted to ask you about, what happened. Tell us what, to your knowledge, how this unfolded, and wondering if you feel this was premeditated. It sounds like it was, but walk us through the events.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So it was your normal Friday afternoon. My brother Chris had just gotten off of work. He was doing what he always did. He went to pick his boys up at daycare. He went inside the daycare. He got his boys. He brought them out. He put them in the truck, and he went and got back in. I believe the reports said that they seen on the video that Mindy hugged the boys and everything. She wasn't supposed to be there. I'm not sure why she was. Well, we know why she was there now, but she really had no reason to be there. Chris walked around, got into the driver's side of his vehicle, getting ready to leave. She came around. She fired 3 shots at close range. She backed up, fired 2 more shots. He got out of the vehicle. He's trying to get away from her. He makes a run for the daycare. The daycare has 2 doors leading into it. So he gets through the first door. They had already secured the second door because of the gunshots. She followed him into the building and shot him 3 or 4 more times. I believe it was a total of 9 shots altogether.
Wow.
She can be heard saying, you have to die, let him die. It was definitely premeditated. She had just been walking the road in front of his home that Sunday before. So just a week before, she was walking the road with the same backpack, concealing something in her hands, just waiting for the moment to be able to do this. And this was her moment.
I just can't get my mind around it. I know our viewers can't either, because it sounds like, how close were the children? They were in the back seat when he was in the car getting shot?
Yes, they were in the back seat, in their car seats of an SUV, just sitting in the back seat. Thank God nothing happened to them. Thank God nothing ricocheted, nothing went through and hit them.
Right.
Because they were right there. They can be heard screaming on the recordings from the childcare, from the daycare center. So obviously they were terrified, to say the least.
Absolutely. To see your own mother taking aim at your father in this way. I'm just curious, how well did you know her? I would imagine there would be holidays, birthdays that you've been around her. What can you tell us about her?
Yes, so she was a really good actress. She did really good at putting on a calm face when she needed to put on a calm face and, show up. She would show up quiet. She wouldn't really make a big scene. She wouldn't really draw a lot of attention to herself, but we also could tell that she was spiraling and that mask would start to fade off and you would start to see some of the signs that something wasn't right. Chris would tell us the stories of things that were going on when they lived together, when he was in the home with her, behind closed doors, about the violence, about the abuse. And then, once he moved out of the home and separated, we started to see a lot more of it as well. The stalking, right, the harassing, the text messages and everything that came along with it. Attacks. She would attack him at child exchange when he would be doing kid pickups with her and stuff like that. She attacked him with a knife before. She would make these attacks and then call in the police department and claim that he had attacked her when he was the one with all the scratches and wounds and everything else.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up her history because we've been looking at some reports. She had a long violent history, as you mentioned, including being found guilty of several charges following a 2020 domestic violence incident. So that was on the record. DCF had already removed the boys from her care. And then there was this hearing for custody set for September. That wasn't that far off. But Chris, I understand, was still trying to get her mental help. He was still trying to help her, right?
Yes, absolutely. The whole time, every time that he made a statement, every time that he would try to do anything, it was to try to help her, to try to have the boys have a mother that was in her right state of mind that could be their mother. He did not want them to lose their mother. So he was trying to get her help long after they were separated and everything else.
I mean, this is as shocking as it gets. I don't know if you can share anything with us that detectives are telling you that has surprised you. Has there been something that really caught you off guard?
The entire thing has caught us off guard. I mean,
right.
Once you read the police report and you read how many times she shot him and not just spur of the moment shot him, she chased him down. She went after him when he was trying to get away, when he was trying to protect himself, to protect his boys, and she chased after him and made a point that she was not going to stop until he was gone. And just hearing the details, hearing the fact of him moaning on the tapes, asking for help, pleading for help, is absolutely devastating for everybody. And for us to hear about it, for us to hear it, for us to see it is something that nobody should ever have to see.
Right. And my last question, if you could, what do you want to see happen to Mindy Osteen at this point?
I'll tell you, prison is too good for her. It's too good for her for what she has done. She needs the death penalty. I will push in every way possible to see that she gets the death penalty, because how do you let somebody continue to walk this earth that can do something like this, not only to another person, but in front of innocent children, and not only her children, but the other children at the daycare that were being picked up. There was other families present. So it's not just her children that she's leaving traumatized. Who knows how it affects all those other kids that were there.
If you'd like to help Melanie Russo and support Christopher Jones' children, check out their GoFundMe titled Honoring Chris and Helping His Boys.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.